Welcome. In this tutorial, we're going to show how to create a report in Checkmymark for an IEP or an LA report or other type of report. The first thing we can do is we go to checkmymark.com, and under user type, we're going to select Case Manager. Choose the school that you're assigned to. Your username will typically be your first initial followed by your last name. And then type in the password that was assigned to you. You'll see a little checkbox for Remember Username. This will store the username on your computer if you like, and if you don't want to do that, uncheck the box. Checkmymark will not store your password, although your browser may prompt you to save it. Then select Login. Once logged into Checkmymark, please go to your settings page. Ensure that your user info is correct. Title should be Mr. or Ms., Mrs., Miss, first name, last name, and then the email address. Those fields will be saved automatically. When you go to change password, you'll be asked to put in your current password and then to put in your new password twice. Ensure that you choose a strong password. A password should be at least 8 characters long and contain letters and numbers. It should not be based on a common word and should be difficult to guess. Once that's done, choose Change Password, and your password will be saved. Now that we've done that, we're going to go to Students, and we're going to assign students to ourselves. At this point in time, you'll see that I don't have any students assigned to myself. To assign a student, we have to choose how to match the student. You can match using the BC ESIS student ID, the student's PIN number, or a student ID. We're going to match using the BC ESIS student ID for this tutorial. You can assign multiple students at a time. I know the BC ESIS number of my students is 1234, and my other one is 12345. When I click Assign, I see that 12345 was not actually in the database. If that's the case, make sure that you're matching the right field. For example, if you're trying to match by PIN number and you choose BC ESIS student ID, it won't be able to match. The other possibility is that student might not be in the database yet. If that's the case, talk to your administrator and ensure that the student is put into the database. The second thing we noticed that Johnny Smith was assigned to me, so it was successful. Now that Johnny Smith is assigned to me, I want to make sure that Johnny has the right ministry designation and also the right report type associated with them. To edit Johnny Smith, I click on his name. You'll now see that on the right side of the screen, I have a series of boxes that I can edit information about Johnny. We don't need to edit most things here. The only thing we really need to do is to ensure that the Ministry of Education designation is correct and that the report types that are assigned to him are correct. I'm going to assign an IEP to Johnny. Once logged in as a case manager, you'll come to a screen that says Reports for Teacher. At this point in time, you likely won't have any reports assigned to you. To assign a student to yourself, you'll notice that when I clicked on IEP, a box at the bottom is displayed that says IEP Pages. The profile cannot be unchecked because profile is a mandatory part of any IEP. The goal areas underneath here are all optional, and I can check as few or as many of those as needed. Once you've selected the proper choices, click Save Changes. Those changes are now saved within Checkmymark and are ready to proceed to the next step. At the very top left of the screen, where it says Select a Student, you'll see that I can choose Smith, Johnny. Once I do that, I am now ready to work on Johnny's IEP. At any point in time, when you wish to choose a different student, just go to the drop down and choose the new student. Now that we've selected Johnny, we see how there are several choices under here that weren't before. There's the profile, and under goal areas, the goal areas that are associated with Johnny. I'm going to start working on the profile. When I click on profile, we see that there's several areas in the profile. The first is student demographics. As we make any changes to the screen, I'm going to change Johnny's name to John, for example. As soon as I exit the box that I'm editing, using either the Tab key or clicking on another box, we'll see that the information is automatically saved. There's no need to press any save buttons while working in this part of the program. Some fields are date fields, such as birth date. A date field has something called a date picker associated with it. When we click on it, it brings up a calendar. This calendar is a very convenient way to enter days when the day is relatively close to the current day that we're on. Something like a birth date, this can be a little bit challenging because a birth date is several years in the past. We can manually type in the date as well, such as 01/25/2001. You'll note that the program automatically formats the date, so it says January 25th, 2001, so I'm sure that it took the date correctly. Some fields are drop-downs, such as gender, and I can enter in pens and grades as well. We can change the Ministry of Education designation on this page as well. As we scroll down further in the program, we see under medical diagnosis that box is bigger. This is an area that can take multiple lines. You can press enter and enter things on more than one line. In the student assessments area, we see a very special type of box. It looks different than the other boxes. It has a slight gray arrow to the right of it, a plus sign, and a pencil. This box can simply be typed in normally, but we can also make a list out of this that's customized for you. The plus sign adds whatever item is currently in the box to a customized list. So by clicking that plus sign now, I see if I scroll to one of the ones underneath and click it, I have the item that I just entered in as a list item. I can edit that list by clicking the pencil. When I click on the pencil, a window will appear on the screen, and we'll note that I can add to recent assessment here, the recent assessment list. I can add other items here, and every line that I enter will enter in a new type of list item. When I click the Save button, we see those items are now added to the list above. You can reorder the list by clicking at the left and dragging them to where you want them on the list. We can delete items on the list by selecting the checkbox beside it and clicking Delete. We can also insert the item that we want to choose into the field that we were originally from by clicking the Insert button. Another type of data input is shown under Student Support. Here we have a series of checkboxes. Simply check the types of support that are available for the student. And if we scroll towards the bottom, we'll see the area where we have IEP Team. IEP Team has two lists associated with it, the position and the actual name of the IEP team member. The first three positions are automatically filled in. You'll always need to have a case manager, a parent guardian, and a teacher. You may find it convenient to have a staff list. If you click at the click here, schools that are currently using Checkmymark will have a list of all the teachers at their school. We can select, copy that list, and then edit the IEP team member list, paste that in, and save it. And now we have a convenient drop-down of all the teachers at our school. Again, this is only available for schools that are currently using Checkmymark and have those teachers already inputted in the system. If we go to goal areas, you can select the goal area that you would like to work on. And you'll see in here the types of input are just what you saw on the profile. Once you've entered your information and would like to print an IEP, we go to the print screen. And printing will bring up the document as a PDF. Once it's in a PDF format, you can save it to your own computer or print it out on a printer. Depending on your computer setup, this may be downloaded as a separate document, or it may appear as a page within your web browser. If it appears as a page within your web browser, press the back button to go back to the previous page, and then you can continue working on the program. There is help available for the program. We see the help is near the bottom above the logout. And under help, there's printable instructions. This is a PDF containing much of the same information that's in this tutorial. We can look at blank IEPs, a blank LA plan, and also example IEPs as well. There's a frequently asked questions section, so if you have any questions, you can look here first. Thanks for joining us today on this tutorial.